Unlocking Your World of Creativity with best-selling author and brand innovator Mark Stinson. Mark introduces you to some of the world's leading creative talent, from publishing, film, music, restaurants, medical research, and more. You'll discover how to tap into your most original thinking, how to organize your ideas, and most of all, how to make the connections and create the opportunities to launch your creative work. Unlocking Your World of Creativity.
Welcome back, everyone, to our podcast, Unlocking Your World of Creativity. We've been from Vietnam to New Zealand to the Ukraine, over to New York and LA, and today our travels take us to South Carolina. It's been a long time coming here, where we're talking with singer-songwriter CerVon Campbell. CerVon, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me. Finally,
we've been working on this one for a while. Well, you've been busy too, working on a lot of great music. CerVon is an artist known for what has been called a soulful sound and venting lyrics. I love that, CerVon. It's got the best of two things I love in music. What's your approach to creating your music? New idea, new song?
Well, I just start with writing, really. Writing is the majority of the process. Once I have, I'll start with maybe a line or two lines, or sometimes there's a word that I want, somewhere in my discography, and I'll just start with it. And then little by little, I'll put the lines together, put the words together, and I'll come up with a little bit wrote down. And then once I have a song, this is my verse, this is my hook. Then when I'm ready to record, I'll find, all the music and just find a bunch of instruments and throw stuff together. That's the process I'm in now. I'm already about to try to get back to the studio.
Love that. Well, listeners, we've got a surprise for you. We're going to point you to some great music, of course, on CerVon's new album, It Be Like That Sometimes, but also a single that you wrote, created, and performed with John Oates called D&D. Tell me about that creative process.
I had D&D done. Well, not done. I had it, and I originally was working on it with this group, Matt and Kim, and I love them. I've loved them since I was in the sixth grade, and being able to meet with them and talk with them. They sent some songs to me. I sent some songs to them, and then, out of the blue, I was on Instagram. It said John Oates liked a couple of your pictures, and then I liked a few back, and then he commented on some posts, said he really liked my music. And this whole time, I'm thinking this is a fan page, so I'm not paying it no attention. I'm
right, this can't be the
John
Oates.
Yeah, I'm he has better things to do than be on my page right now. So then he was commenting on a few more things, just the songs, the samples and snippets I had on there. And then he said, hey, I really like this. And I went to Google, and Google took me to that Instagram page. So I'm thinking, this might be the real one. So I said, if you like it so much, then you need to make a song with me. And he DM'd me his email and all that stuff, and I sent him that one. And I'm surprised he sent anything back. So that's really just how it all happened.
Mm-hmm. It's a great sound, and it's unmistakable that John Oates' fingerprint is on the song, isn't it? There's a certain feel and a sound that he brought.
Everything is known.
Another night, I'm up and I'm sleep deprived. WebMD says I'm about to die, and I'm just here waiting. I fall but pretend to fly. I learned to accept the highs. It makes for softer blows from the lows. My mama says speak life, so I say I'm not depressed. I won't ever have these thoughts again. I'm better alone. The dark won't be home. I know that I'll be okay. I know that I'll be okay. Through the night, I get these thoughts and I...
What did he bring to the party? Because it's a great song to begin with. I did hear the original that he probably heard. Yeah.
He gave it a lot more organic feel, because originally I made a lot of the beat with somebody else. I found the beat from somebody and I added a lot more to it. But me and the guy that originally did it, everything we did was just on computers and, beat boards and stuff. So we had a similar sound, but it was more robotic and it wasn't as real as John made it. So then John gave a little verse, and I spread it out throughout the song and put them in the background with, the oohs and all kind of stuff. And that gave it a lot more life. Originally, I had a sample in it. We took the sample out and it became me and him singing in the back. He added a lot more realness to it. Him and this guy, David Kalmusky, they jumped in and they just, they brought all real instruments, really just made it like a feeling, like you can feel the song a lot more with them two on it.
And how has that collaboration maybe impacted or affected or rippled into some of your other newer music?
It makes me not really want to do a lot of like, the beats and stuff like that. All the music I've made since then has had like, like real instruments. Like that's my thing now. Ever since he introduced me to it, originally have a couple like, I would find a guitarist and little stuff like that. But now I want like at least like 80% instrument. Like I want to be able to fully perform these with a band and stuff. He just gave me a lot more perspective and a lot of thought about like my image and who I am as an artist and stuff like that. He's a really down to earth person. So he changed my whole perspective on music.
Give me an example of one of those songs that we could highlight that has been impacted with that more real instrumental sound.
Okay, so on the album, there's a few of them on there. There's a song Broken People. And Broken People, you can kind of hear it in the song. I took all the fakeness out of it originally, and I came in at the end, I was like, I want to add more instruments. And a song I made after I met him, Broken People was before, and I just shifted it a little bit after meeting him. But a song after him was a song called Still Growing Up. And Still Growing Up, it is like pretty much all instrument. Like I found so many great people, and I rented a bunch of instruments and just kind of just played around with it. I wanted a song that was 100% mine, so I did like pretty much all the production on it. Yeah, I got that from him. He made me want to fully be in control of what the sound that I was getting, and I had.
So good. In CerVon, a lot of young artists aren't so open to that kind of feedback and collaboration. A lot of singer-songwriters I've talked to are more, hey, I'm searching for people who make the song that I want to make. It sounds like you were open enough to say, it's my song, but now I've got some other ideas on how to make it. Talk to me about that.
I think a lot of artists are really big into being okay with being in a box. And I feel like that sounds like really cliche or, I don't know, just really weird. But like originally I was looked at as I'm a rapper. So I have to stay in this little box. So, I'm rapping all the time. And if I want singing, I'll get like a girl on it and then she'll sing and then I just rap. But the majority of the music I listen to is more, like I listen to a ton of folk music, a lot of like 80s, 70s rock music. So I really wanted that. So I have to kind of, be able to travel outside of my confines of like, the regular old rap stuff that I'm giving now. So meeting John was like really big, like, hey, I can be more than this because we had D&D. It's like my part in it is pretty much how it was before, he touched it. But coming from that, it was like, I can be different on beats. Even if I am gonna rap, I can rap over, a ukulele or something. Like it's so much out there away from just like a little keypad with little beat sounds that everybody else has. And I feel like that's what the problem in a lot of today's music has been. Everybody's trapped in this same little cycle. They get the same little sounds and they play around with it, but it's not a lot of life in it. So I wanted to, and that was a lot of what I wanted to do with the album, to be like that sometimes. I wanted to add everything that I was listening to into it. So I listened to a lot of Lumineers, a lot of Go West, and just like everything, a lot of Lynyrd Skynyrd, just everything. And I wanted to put as much into it that I could of everything I was listening to, because a lot of people, they'll listen to Taylor Swift and then listen to Green Bay and then listen to Tupac. They're all over the place too. So I've been, that's really what I'm pushing now with my music, the newer stuff. Now that I'm kind of figured out, okay, I can mix around, I'm going for it now. It's gonna just be weird and go crazy about it.
Yeah, really get out of that genre box. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to tell the listeners, I'm looking at your Zoom picture now. You're wearing your Led Zeppelin shirt. Led Zeppelin as a blues band, many people may not appreciate, but look at what Robert Plant's done with Alison Krauss.
Yeah. They have another album coming out together, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
it's fantastic. Yes.
oh, it's already out. You've heard it?
I know some singles are out. I'm not sure if the full
Okay.
album's out, but I've heard a couple of singles.
Yeah, I've heard. That was a really big surprising thing too. And I feel like it's so many weird mixtures out there. Yeah, that was a great example.
Mm-hmm. Well, CerVon, like you said, getting out of these genres, what do you account for the appeal of music? Can people be open to hearing the mixes and the influences and those collaborations that are not straight up, if I like rap, all I'm going to listen to is rap? Do you think people are ready for this more open, appreciation of the music?
I feel like a lot of people are, but it's also peer pressure. It's a lot of, like, I listen to this, but I'm nervous. People don't like listen to like my clique, my set of friends don't listen to this person. So I don't want to openly listen to this person. And I had that a lot in school with what I was listening to. And, I talk to a lot of people now who are like, I love Taylor Swift, but I won't admit that. And I am not that person. I will admit I love Taylor Swift to death. Everything she has put out, I have listened to. So once you can get out of those little, crutches, then I feel like a lot of people's ear will perk up. So I feel like Kendrick Lamar did a really cool thing where he mixed blues and rock and hip hop in an album. And I feel like a lot of people liked it. And they always said, like, hey, he mixed around. He got a little weird. He got a little out of the box. And I feel like a lot of people want, like a mall. Everybody wants like all the stuff they like in one spot. So if you can mix all these genres in one place and it sound okay, I'm sure people will love it.
Well, that's a great
It took
analogy.
me a
And I
couple
think,
listeners.
it stimulates your creative thinking, doesn't it? I think about a couple
Yeah.
of guests I've had on the podcast recently. One was an Afro pop artist from Nigeria, and another was EDM, electronic dance music from LA. And as I was sampling their music on the episode, I thought, there may be people who are listening to this, podcast who may not appreciate that music. On the
hmm
other hand, they may have never been exposed to it. And so by exposing people to new music, maybe it'll stimulate some new creative thinking.
And that's a thing I was really nervous about some like the album. When I put out It Be Like That Sometimes, it's like two songs at the end where it really shifts, where it's one called Risk that's more like today's, whatever rap music, where it's like it's not about nothing, it's just, whatever. And then there's a song Don't Cry that I was really pushing, this folk mindset that I had. And I put them right beside each other, and it's like eating something sweet and then having a bunch of salt with it. It's just a really weird mix. So I was really nervous that people that came to me listening to like D&D, the first song they hear is Risk, and they're like, wait, this isn't what I signed up for. So that was a big worry. And with the newer stuff, it's a bigger worry because I'm really trying to like exercise that muscle now. So it's a constant fear because not everybody likes everything, and some people do. You got to find the ones that do.
Yep. Well, we've been talking about the sounds, the genres, the beats, the instruments, but let's talk about the lyrics. Where do these venting lyrics, as they've been called, where does that come from? What's the message that you're trying to get out in your stories?
Well, at first, when I first started out, it was just like overly sad music, and I was making like I would write when, you know, I was going through a hard time in a relationship, or when I have problems with like mental health and I'm feeling low, I would just write that. And then I was thinking like with D&D, it's not everything has to be, you know, sad. And even if it is, if I noticed I was doing a show a few years ago, and I was like 4 or 5 songs in, and I saw this girl like crying, but she was like, you know, still into the show, but she was crying. And I was thinking like, if I put out a whole album and I have nothing but sad songs, that's gonna keep people in the sad box and say they listen to me all the time. That's all that they have. So I wanted to with D&D, I made it with like it's words of affirmation where you can sing along to D&D and you're speaking positive things over yourself. Like, I'm not depressed. I'm not gonna have these thoughts again. And it's like even if you don't believe it, you can, you know, you can say these things. So I'm trying to say now, like now in my music, I want to be on the other side of the coin of where I was originally, where originally I'm sad all the time. But now I'm at a spot and I feel like I've matured and I'm older now than when I started, of course. So like I have a more mature look at things where it's like it be like that sometimes. So yeah, it's sad, but you know, it's good times too. You can write about the good things, and even you can turn a sad song into a, you know, upbeat song where, you know, you're just not constantly in this depressing box. When I was at my most depressed, I feel like I was just listening to depressing songs all day. So it's just like it's building this little demon in my mind, and it's just, you know, I'm feeding it. I'm not helping it come out of that. You know, you got to walk into the sun a little bit more. So with the lyrics, it's everything I have going on in life. So still growing up is me realizing I am a child and I need to be an adult now. I need to grow up. I need to learn how to file my own taxes and stuff. Like I had to kind of, you know, hurry
It
up and
always
figure
comes
stuff
around
out.
to the taxes.
Yeah,
You need to learn to file your own taxes.
yeah, that's a big thing. And I know how to do it. So I
There
feel
you
like
go.
I'm getting this little adult thing figured out.
You're the man now. I love that. Well, let's continue this thought of deconstructing and focusing on parts of the music. Maybe you could share some of the lyrics. You know, we've been sampling the songs. We want to hear it and listen to the words, but maybe we could hear you just read and share some of the lyrics with us to give us insight into your writing style.
Okay, so um let me think of a song that I know for a fact the lyrics. D&D, another night, I'm up and I'm sleep deprived. Webin B says I'm about to die and I'm just here waiting. I had like a really weird dream, and I'm like, I wake up and I'm like full panic attack mode, and I'm like, I can't go to sleep now. I'm trying to like, you know, figure stuff out because this is when I first like I had just left college, and I'm like, now I have to kind of figure stuff out. I can go this direction or this direction or this direction. And it was just freaking me out all the time because I always say Saved by the Bell and Nancy Classify, all those shows stopped at college or like halfway to college. Nobody really showed me like what to do as an adult. So I had woke up, I couldn't sleep because I'm trying to plan life. And then I noticed I had a migraine or I had something going on. So I got on Google and I started typing in the symptoms. And if you do that, then you know what
Nothing,
like Google will
nothing
tell you
good
you're about to
happens.
die.
I love
Yeah.
that. WebMD is not mentioned in a lot of songs. So that's nice that you bring that brand name up.
Yeah, I should have messaged them so I can try to get a little promotion out of it.
There you go. Maybe it's a positive thing. I think you've said, you've turned it into something positive.
I can do better. Let me look up the lyrics to a song.
It's good.
I'm really bad. I just had this problem. My wife picks on me all the time because I don't know the words to a lot of my songs.
Uh-huh.
So I was doing a show, like you can even the show I did with John, you can see I forgot the words. I forgot the words mid song. Can't 100% do that one, but I know my main song right now that's doing anything for me is Broken People, and it's me talking to a girl, and we both was like, trying to find God and trying to, figure out religion, figure out life. And we both had like depression and all those weird, funny things. And the lyrics are, I see your cracks. Am I wrong to find them attractive and find myself in you? My heart's been broken in two, and see you had yours ripped too. Broken people have this urge to fix each other and solve everybody's issues. But when you're your own hero, who saves you? When you're your own hero and own villain, who can help you? And I said that as a lot of things I feel like that's been bothering me in my life has always been like just my perception of it, just like, my own thoughts, me overthinking. And I feel like a lot of kids have that problem. That's why I feel like we have such a really crazy high suicide rate. It's just like it's so much overthinking. And a lot of times it really isn't that bad. So all the things in my life I was just like super stressed about. Now I look at, or it's just like it's not that big of a deal. So I was like my own villain, and I would have to work myself through these problems. And I was always that friend helping other people. So I was like, I was the hero and I was the villain. So it's like I was just a whiny kid. Like I need help too. So who's gonna help me? And talking to somebody who had the similar thoughts, it really it was good. So like we were broken people, which now this sounds crazy. Like, oh, we're broken people. It sounds like those old gothic emo kids, like we're like Twilight, like a Twilight thing. But yeah, that's broken people.
No, but it is from the heart. And you mentioned this sort of more mature outlook on life. I mean, from the lyrics all the way to now what you're saying, collaborating, bringing in more instruments, trying to make your songs more you and real. Is that a direction you want to continue to mature in and grow into?
Yes, 100%. I feel like my whole career and a lot of other people's career has always been just on the steps of me looking at my audience, looking back, trying to say, like, hey, well, they've been liking this. I need to keep on doing this. And I just want to be liked, and I wanted, to blow up and have all these all this fame and followers and stuff. So now I'm at a point where it's kind of like I care about the people that listen to it, but I also don't mind if this is, the end of the road. Like it could be. So if it is, like I gotta, try to enjoy it, have more fun with it, and kind of exercise what I can and can't do. Because if not, then like I was putting out songs I'm not happy about, and you just come away with a lot of stuff that you're just there with. And as an artist, and even like like you having your own podcast, I'm sure you have this problem too, where you're the main person, like you hear it more than anybody else will.
Right.
So when you're editing or whatever you're doing, like me, I get so sick of my songs because when I first write it, I have to go over it 100 times to make sure it fits the music. When I first record it, I got to go over it 100 times to edit every little detail of it, and it's all that. And then if you're performing it, it gets so old. So like I want to put stuff in songs now where I can have fun with it, and it makes me feel good. So I want to keep it going in that, and I want to develop more of a talent to play instruments, because I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of instruments rented for this new project, and I really want to maximize the sound of it. I'm going full orchestra if I can.
I love that. Well, I can't wait to hear some of it. Keep us posted on how it's developing. Well,
Yes, sir.
CerVon Campbell has been our guest. CerVon, how do we connect with you, follow your work, and keep our eyes and ears out for new music?
On everything, I am CerVon Campbell, CerVon Campbell, like the suit. And on Instagram, I am Sex Monkey Limo Driver. If I could change it, I promise you I would. But yeah,
But you
those are
already
my
have
songs.
50,000 followers, so don't give it up too fast.
I have tried for years to change it. Instagram won't let me change it.
Is
I'm
that
stuck
right?
with it. Yeah.
Well, it's you. It's
Yeah,
authentic.
that's me.
I love that. Well, CerVon, all the best to you. Love the music, love the message, love the story, and wish you all the best in the future creative endeavors too.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I'm
And
glad I finally made it on here.
keep reaching out for those big names because
Yes,
they're all
sir.
going
I'm
to
gonna
want
try
to
my
come on
best.
now. Then you can go on tour with them or vice versa.
Yep, that's the next big shooter film. I'm gonna try to tour it.
That'll be exciting. Well, let us know when you're coming through town.
Yes, sir.
All right. We've been talking to CerVon Campbell about his work, his art, his music, but we'll also continue our worldwide travels to talk to practitioners everywhere about their creative process, how they get inspired, how they organize their ideas, and most of all, how they gain the confidence and the connections to get their work out into the world. And we've heard some great stories about collaborations from CerVon today. So until next time, I'm Mark Stinson, and we're unlocking your world of creativity. We'll see you next time.
Unlocking Your World of Creativity with best-selling author and brand innovator Mark Stinson. This program was produced by BSB Media, creators of Entelechy Leadership Stories, Unlocking Your World of Creativity, and The Peace Room. Love. We've created a special offer just for listeners of the podcast. You can get the book, A World of Creativity, for a special price of $5.98 for paperback, and the Kindle version is only 99 cents. Go to mark-stinson.com to take advantage of this special offer. Our podcast is supported by Adobe and the Adobe Creative Cloud, the world's best creative app and services, so you can make almost anything you can imagine wherever you're inspired. We use Adobe to help make this podcast, using Audition, Premiere Rush, InDesign, and more. So join the creative community with the Adobe Creative Cloud, and let's make something better, unlocking your world of creativity. If you like our podcast, here's another show you might like. Turmeric and Tequila with Kristen Olson. Questioning a better way, one gracefully disruptive conversation at a time. Authentic, aware, influential, and grateful. Look for and follow Turmeric and Tequila